So good morning, guys. Doing a special video for the gaming kitchen. It's talking about for creating ballparks. And if you're wondering why I'm out here in the elements right now, it's Memorial Day weekend, but weather says different. So I was talking about the dynamic of building. Putting buildings near your ballpark and stuff. And if you see right here, I'm on my campus, my alumni campus of University of Maryland, Baltimore County. The reason why I chose that is because it's a hill. You're on a hilltop. So if you know one thing about a hill, when it's built into, you have gradual levels of height, which is something that's very attractive if you are building a ballpark. I see a lot of ballparks where people put buildings in and they're all surrounding the stadium and stuff like that. And you get the perception wrong. A great building, a great ballpark has buildings that are given an equal amount of distance and space that looks significant to the viewer's point of view. So as you see right here, UMBC is built up on a hill. The next ballpark in which I'm going to be working on is going to be, or one of the next ballparks I'm going to be working on is Alumni Field, which is at UMBC, right here. So when you see you see all these buildings, and you see that they're stacked. You know, when you look at it, when you go to Camden Yards, it's the same exact thing. You see all these buildings, but they're stacked. And the illusion is that they're just put next to one another, but it's not. They're blocks away from one another. So if you look at this building, you have a couple of academic buildings over that, a couple of steps up the hill. You have trees that are up on that level right there. You see apartments, your apartments stacked right there. You have trees. You move up to the ladder, you see the library, you see poles and stuff like that. So that's a great helpful advice to people who are doing commission for building ballparks or wanting to do professional ballparks and to show them off, is the depth of building. It is very important to have an effective building that gives more when there's less. Okay, so part 2 of the video. So I just made it back down here to Alumni Field at UMBC. I could have looked on Google for this, to be honest with you. Could have, but being that this is in my neck of the woods, I decided to take a trip down here and survey the ballpark for itself. And this is what I was talking about earlier. When you make realistic ballparks, you want to get a sense of the environment that's around you. You know, some of the people that go to ballparks, professional ballparks, MLB ballparks in Japan, wherever, there's a certain type of characteristics that it has. Certain type of depth, certain type of perception that you have to have when you make a certain type of ballpark. So right here, you have the UMBC men's baseball team, okay? And this is a stadium complex at my alma mater. And so what you see here is you have the softball field that's up the hill over there. That can easily be recreated with some hill mechanics. You have, let's see, softball team has, looks like they share lights. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 lights here for this. Foul pole, I don't know the dimensions yet, but you can see that this is like, it's like a minor league stadium. You know, it's a step below it. You have certain personalities, charms, quips, and everything. Softball field, you have the same exact thing. I'm gonna be taking a walk up there shortly so I can get a good gauge as to like how many seats I want to put in for that too. And then when you look around here, you see that you have some fences, you have some lights. It's built into a hill, a hill slope. So your viewpoint of the campus is not going to be as drastic as one would think it would be. You go over here to the soccer stadium here, hopefully at some point a football field, but one can hope. You have some features in the game that can be implemented with that. You got some stands that's built right here into the wall, into the fencing. as well as you see in the background. You got some buildings that can be recreated and everything, which looks beautiful when you're in there and you're playing in the game. You can see some, some backdrops, some houses, some suburban houses. You got a flag. You can see the administration building over there. You got some practice fields and stuff. So take a good walk here. Rarely ever do this. Memorial Day weekend. It's unseasonably cold here, but nevertheless, you just want to get a good survey of everything. That's the best thing about MLB the Show, is that it's getting a lot of people who are stadium fanatics, people who are interested in all of this, to hypothetically make it work for themselves, create their own world, create their own ballparks and stuff. For me, this is my second ball field that I came out to do research on. The other one is a ball field that is out in Reisterstown that I recreated, which is a recreational park for people to download for either Diamond Dynasty or whatever. Not as exciting as a one of these fantasy parks, but you'll get your experience worthwhile. And I think that as things get better, I think they'll be produced better. So right here is a softball field. It's smaller than the baseball field, okay, which fits the local ballpark features that you can add. But the good thing about all this is it looks like trees, a couple of buildings, a couple of hills, some houses on hills in the back, if you wish to go that far, is going to cover all this. You got some trees here that will disguise some usage and everything. So this right here is what's important when making something realistic. Is if you get a chance, go out, view the area yourself, and try and gauge everything. Breathe it in. Get the environment. Get like how everything looks, feels, and how organic it is. What buildings are there, and what usage it is. So that when you recreate it, you're not going to exactly get it as accurate as possible. But what you can do, and what you are able to do, is to pick up some nuances that a person who's not able to go would not be able to pick up. So you see right here, and a lot of this stuff can be redone and put towards some good usage. A lot of fencing can be used for this. It would be beneficial, and you don't have to use up much memory when creating a ballpark like this. So this is a long video. I just wanted to do something different. I've always done game videos. I've always done stuff like this, but never had the chance to put out what goes into creating a stadium or a ballpark in MLB The Show. A lot of extensive research, a lot of work, a lot of picture references, a lot of effort, a lot of research. That comes from my undergrad, comes from my majors. I'm doing research and stuff like that. So this is what you do. This is helpful advice that I can give based upon if you want to do research, if you want to build stuff, is that if you're really serious about ballpark building in MLB The Show, and even though it's a game, I understand, this is the best place to gauge everything, is to go out in the environment, survey everything for yourself, make notes, record, and create it. And who knows, it might lead to you being commissioned to make some ballparks. It might lead to you getting exposure. It's a craze. You have, I feel like this is a separate game from itself. You have the main game, and then you have that game. So, this is the Gaming Kitchen, logging off out of Baltimore County, UMBC, University of Maryland, Baltimore County. It's the school that took down the #1 seed back in 2018. Hopefully at some point they win a national championship of their own. Signing off, guys. Stay safe. Have a good Memorial Day. I'll catch you next time.